Hi, I'm Silas. I'm a 34-year-old contractor living in Phoenix with my wife Maya and our 6-year-old daughter Lily. For years, I'd been the responsible son, the one who managed my father's properties, handled his investments, and made sure everything ran smoothly while he enjoyed his retirement. My father, Richard, was a real estate mogul who'd built an empire over 40 years. He always told me I'd inherit everything because I was the only one who understood hard work. Silas, come look at this quarterly report, Richard said one evening at his house, spreading papers across his mahogany desk. Your management increased property values by 18%. That's exactly why I'm leaving everything to you. Dad, you don't need to keep saying that, I replied, uncomfortable with the topic. I'm just doing what needs to be done. No, you need to understand your position. Your sister Jessica ran off to paint in Europe. Your brother Marcus can't hold a job for 6 months. You're my successor, and I've made sure all the legal documents reflect that. I nodded, not realizing how conditional his affection really was. Everything changed 3 months ago when Lily started getting tired constantly. Maya noticed first. Silas, she's been sleeping 12 hours a night and still exhausted, Maya said one morning, her voice tight with worry. And look at her skin, it's almost gray. Let's take her to Dr. Patterson, I said immediately. The diagnosis devastated us. Lily needed a kidney transplant. Her own kidneys were failing rapidly due to a rare genetic condition. The good news is she's a perfect candidate for the transplant list, Dr. Patterson explained in his office. The challenging news is the wait time can be 6 to 18 months, and the process is expensive. Even with insurance, you're looking at approximately $150,000 in out-of-pocket costs. Maya gripped my hand. We'll figure it out. Actually, I said, thinking quickly, my father has resources. He's always said family comes first. I'll talk to him tonight. I called Richard immediately after leaving the hospital. Dad, I need to talk to you about something serious. Can I come over? Of course, son. I'm always here for you. That evening, I explained everything. Lily's condition, the transplant, the cost, the timeline. So you're asking me for $150,000, Richard said, his face unreadable. Not asking. I'm hoping you could help. I've always said a lot of things, Silas. Let me think about this. This is a significant amount of money. Dad, this is Lily, your granddaughter. I understand that. Give me a few days to review my finances. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Dr. Patterson that made my blood run cold. Silas, I need you to come to my office immediately. There's been a development with Lily's case. Maya and I rushed to the hospital. Dr. Patterson looked uncomfortable, which terrified me. What's wrong? Maya asked. Did something happen with Lily's condition? Her condition is stable, but there's an administrative issue. Lily has been removed from the donor list. What? I stood up. How is that possible? Who authorized that? According to our records, Richard Morrison, listed as the financial guarantor, contacted our billing department and withdrew the financial guarantee. Without that guarantee, we cannot keep Lily on the active list. My world stopped. My father did what? He called our billing administrator, Jennifer, 3 days ago. He said, and I'm reading from her notes, the cost is too expensive and I cannot justify this expenditure. Please remove the child from the list. Maya started crying. He killed our daughter. He just killed our daughter. We can get her back on the list if you can secure alternative financing or a new guarantor within 72 hours, Dr. Patterson said gently. I was already dialing my father's number. Richard answered on the third ring. Silas, I was expecting your call. What did you do? My voice shook with rage. Dr. Patterson just told me you had Lily removed from the donor list. I made a practical financial decision. $150,000 is an enormous sum. She's your granddaughter. She's 6 years old and dying. Don't be dramatic. She's not dying immediately. You have time to explore other options. Fundraisers, loans, payment plans. You have $17 million in assets. I know because I manage half of them. Exactly. You manage them. You know better than anyone that capital preservation is essential. I'm 72 years old, Silas. I need to ensure my retirement security. Your retirement security? You own 6 properties. You collect $40,000 monthly in rental income alone. And I intend to keep it that way. I won't apologize for being financially responsible. Financially responsible? You're letting a child die. I'm teaching you a valuable lesson about dependency. You've relied on me for too long. Time to stand on your own. I hung up before I said something I'd regret. Maya was pacing our living room when I got home. What did he say? He's not helping. He actually said it was too expensive and that we need to explore other options. That monster, that absolute monster. She stopped pacing. What do we do? I'm calling my brother and sister, and I'm calling Patricia. Patricia Chen was our family attorney who'd handled Richard's estate planning for 20 years. She'd also become a friend. Patricia, it's Silas. I need to know exactly what legal documents have my father's name on them, specifically anything involving me. That's an unusual request. Can I ask why? I explained everything. Lily's condition, Richard's betrayal, his withdrawal of financial support. Patricia was silent for a long moment. That's unconscionable. Silas, I'll tell you something in complete confidence. Your father revised his will 4 months ago. Everything still goes to you. Properties, investments, accounts, everything. You're the executor, primary beneficiary, and you have power of attorney for his healthcare decisions. Send me copies of every document, every single one. What are you planning? I'm removing his name from everything, just like he removed my daughter's name from that list. My brother Marcus called back within an hour. Silas, Jessica told me about Lily. I'm sorry, man, I can contribute $5,000. Thank you, Marcus. That means everything. But I need to ask you something else. Did Dad ever promise you any inheritance? Are you kidding? He tells me monthly that I'm not responsible enough for his money. Why? Would you be willing to testify that Dad has a pattern of manipulating family members with money? Absolutely. What's going on? I'm building a case. I'll explain soon. Jessica called next, crying. Silas, I just heard. I'm flying home immediately. I have $8,000 saved. It's yours. Jess, you don't have to. Lily is my niece. Of course I have to. What kind of grandfather does this? The kind who values money over people. Jess, I need you to document every time Dad has used money to control you. That'll be a long list, but why? Because I'm going to make sure he understands consequences. That night, Maya and I met with Patricia at her office. I've pulled everything, Patricia said, spreading documents across the conference table. Richard Morrison is named in your power of attorney documents, his own will naming you as executor and sole beneficiary, healthcare proxy designations, 6 property deeds where you're listed as co-owner, and the trust fund established for Lily's education, which he controls. He controls Lily's trust fund? Maya gasped. It was set up when she was born, $200,000 designated for college. Richard is the trustee. I felt cold fury building. Can he access that money? Technically, yes, for educational purposes, but it would be difficult to justify using it now. But he hasn't offered it, has he? He'll probably say that money is for college, not medical expenses. Patricia nodded grimly. That would be his argument. Then here's what we're going to do, I said. I want my name removed from his will. I want him removed as trustee of Lily's fund. I want to revoke his healthcare power of attorney. I want him removed from every property deed, everything. Silas, that's a massive restructuring. He restructured my daughter's future when he made that phone call. Now it's my turn. 3 days later, I scheduled a meeting with Richard at his house. Marcus, Jessica, and Patricia came with me for support and documentation. Richard opened the door with a smile. Silas, I wasn't expecting the whole family. Come in, come in. This isn't a social visit, Dad. We sat in his living room. Richard looked at Patricia with suspicion. Why is my attorney here? I'm actually Silas's attorney today, Patricia said calmly. I'm here in that capacity. What's this about? Richard's smile faded. It's about consequences, I said. You removed Lily from the donor list because it was too expensive, so I'm removing you from my life in every legal capacity possible. Don't be ridiculous. You're upset, but I'm removing you as executor of my estate. I'm removing you from all property deeds. I'm removing your healthcare power of attorney. I'm removing you as trustee of Lily's education fund, and I'm removing myself from your will. Richard's face turned red. You can't do that. Actually, I can do all of it except the last one. But you'll do that for me, won't you, Patricia? Patricia opened her briefcase. I have revocation documents for every legal connection between you and Silas. All they need is your signature acknowledging the changes. I won't sign anything. You don't have to, I said. Most of these don't require your signature, but the will changes do, unless you'd like everyone to know that you let your granddaughter die rather than access funds you wouldn't even miss. That's blackmail, Marcus leaned forward. No, Dad, that's exactly what you did to Silas. You used your financial position to make a decision about Lily's life. You stayed out of this, Marcus. You've never contributed anything to this family. And yet I gave $5,000 for Lily's transplant within an hour of hearing about it, Marcus shot back. That's more than you did with 17 million in assets, Jessica added quietly. I gave $8,000, every penny I had saved. You're all turning against me over this? Richard looked genuinely shocked. You turned against your own granddaughter, I said. Did you really think there wouldn't be consequences? Silas, please, let's talk about this rationally. Maybe I was hasty. Maybe. There's no maybe here. You called the hospital and had a 6-year-old child removed from a donor list. I was thinking about my financial security. You were thinking about yourself, just like you've always done. I stood up. Patricia, proceed with all the documents. Wait, Richard stood too. You can't do this. I'm your father. And Lily is your granddaughter. Did that stop you? I'll change my mind. I'll call the hospital right now. Maya, who'd been silent until now, spoke up. No. Excuse me? Richard looked at her. You heard me. No, we don't want your money anymore. We've secured financing through the hospital's foundation program and family contributions. Lily was put back on the list yesterday. Then what's all this about? This is about making sure you understand what you did, I said. You chose money over family, so now you have your money, but you don't have us. Richard's face contorted with rage. You ungrateful little... I built everything you have, that house you live in. I co-signed the mortgage. Your business? I gave you startup capital. Everything you are is because of me. Everything I am is despite you, I replied, and I'm returning every penny. Patricia has prepared a repayment plan for the $50,000 startup loan. It'll be paid back within 3 years. Silas, please don't do this. I made a mistake. No, you made a choice. A calculated, deliberate choice. You told Dr. Patterson to remove Lily from the list because you thought $150,000 was too expensive. Well, now you'll discover exactly how expensive your decision really was. If you do this, you'll never see another penny from me. Good. I don't want your money. I don't want your properties. I don't want anything from you except distance. Richard grabbed my arm. You can't walk away from me. I'm your father. I pulled my arm free. No, you were my father. Now you're just Richard Morrison, a man who valued his portfolio over his granddaughter's life. Patricia stood. Richard, these documents will be filed tomorrow. You have 24 hours to review them with your own attorney if you choose. I'll fight this. I'll contest every document. Go ahead, I said, heading for the door. But every legal battle will be public record. Every news outlet will know that Richard Morrison withdrew medical support for his dying granddaughter because it was too expensive. How do you think that'll affect your reputation in the community? Richard's face went pale. You wouldn't. Try me. He suddenly lunged at me, grabbing my shirt. You ungrateful piece of... Marcus pulled him off. Dad, stop! Get out! All of you get out! Richard was screaming now, his face purple with rage. You're all dead to me! Do you hear me? Dead! The feeling, I said calmly, is mutual. 2 weeks later, Patricia called with news. Richard signed everything. Every document, every revocation, every release. You're legally disconnected from him in every way possible. Did he say anything? Just that he wanted this over with. Oh, and he's removed Lily from his will entirely. Everything's going to charity now. Perfect. We don't want it anyway. The hospital foundation program, combined with family contributions and a payment plan, covered Lily's transplant costs. She received a kidney 3 months later. The surgery was successful. I was sitting in Lily's recovery room when Richard appeared at the door. Maya immediately tensed beside me. What are you doing here? I asked. I came to see Lily. Please, Silas, let me explain. There's nothing to explain. I was wrong. I panicked about the money and I made a terrible mistake. But I want to make this right. Maya stood up. Make it right? Lily almost died because you removed her from the transplant list. I know. I'll do anything. Pay you back, set up a trust for her, anything you want. We don't want your money, I said flatly. We wanted you to care more about your granddaughter than your bank account. You failed that test. Please, I'm begging you. Let me be part of her life. No, you gave up that right when you called Dr. Patterson. But I'm her grandfather. Grandparents don't abandon their grandchildren over money. You made a financial calculation about whether Lily's life was worth $150,000. You decided it wasn't. Richard's face crumpled. I'll change everything back. The will, the trust, everything. I don't want to be in your will. I don't want anything from you except distance. Just let me apologize to her. Please. She doesn't even know what you did. We told her you were busy because we didn't want to break her heart. Silas, I'm your father. No, you were my father. Now you're just a man who chose wrong. I pressed the call button. Security, please. You're really having me removed? Richard's voice broke. You removed Lily first. I'm just returning the favor. Security escorted him out while he sobbed. Maya sat down heavily. Do you think we're too hard on him? She asked quietly. No, some mistakes don't deserve second chances. 6 months later, Lily was thriving. Back in school, playing soccer, being a normal kid. We'd moved to a smaller house, completely ours, with no ties to Richard. Marcus called one evening. Dad's not doing well. Lost weight, seems depressed. Jessica and I still aren't speaking to him either. That's his consequence to live with. Agreed, just wanted you to know. After hanging up, I watched Lily playing in the backyard with Maya. Some people think revenge requires destruction. But sometimes the best revenge is removing toxic people from your life and thriving without them. Richard chose money over family. Now he has his money and the loneliness that comes with it. And we have each other, which is worth infinitely more. Have you ever had to cut a family member out of your life? What happened? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.